All right, let us.
But this is more beautiful.
It's really good.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Back to basketball. We got Chris Broussard with us.
Yeah.
So, Broussard, the Grizzlies
Now
and
the
Warriors,
season
they'll play for the
starts.
8th seed tonight out west. And then you got round 1 starts Saturday afternoon already. So now seems like the perfect time for Nick to make those playoff picks. Nick, let's run through it. Take it away.
All right, let's show the Western Conference bracket as it is now. And as we show it, I just want to give 2 quick shout-outs. One is to the world's best graphical producer, our Allison, who's going to have built out everything you see. And the other is to the world's best NBA prognosticator, as rated last year, this guy right here. Got everything right except for Heat. All right, we're going to go Warriors over the Grizzlies in the play-in tonight, which will give us that bracket. Show me the first round. A lot of people are going to pick Golden State. I will not. I think Golden State's going to run out of gas. I do think Steph will have some monster games. I think it'll be a good series, but Jazz in 6. This one hurts my heart. I don't believe in the Clippers as championship contenders. I do believe in Luka. I have ever since his mom brought him home from the hospital and put him in my arms in Upper Slovenia 21 years ago. But Luka cannot by himself beat the Clippers. I've got the Clippers in a great series, Clippers in 7. Nuggets Blazers is peculiar to me as far as this. The Blazers are the favorites. Not only do I think the Nuggets should be the favorites, I think the Nuggets are going to score 130 points every game of this series. I'm going to hear constantly from the Serbian and Denver contingent about what an idiot I am because the Joker will look great in this series. I've got Nuggets in 5, and then the Lakers win a tough series against the Suns in 6. Advance to the conference finals. I do believe that the Clippers will beat the Jazz in 6, win Game 6 in Los Angeles, and the Lakers will do to the Nuggets what they did to them last year, which is annihilate them in a gentleman's sweep, which will give us the series everyone wanted last year, the battle for LA. And the Clippers will say, can we switch brackets? We set this whole thing up to not play the Lakers. We didn't want to play the Lakers. Wait, we still got to play the Lakers? You do. Luckily, Clipper fans, you won't have to play them for long. Lakers in 5. They get back to the NBA Finals. Now, let's move on to the Eastern Conference side of the bracket. First round's pretty straightforward except for one series. Sixers sweep the Wizards. The Knicks win a great series against the Hawks in 7. I think Trae Young will play really well early. He will get beat up late. Julius Randle will be too much for him. I do believe the Bucks will beat the Heat. I think the Heat will win a couple games. I think Bucks win Game 1 in their building and win the series in Miami's building in Game 6. And Brooklyn with a gentleman's sweep over Boston. Wouldn't shock me if they win in 4. Now to the most interesting series. Not Sixers-Knicks. Sixers gentlemen sweep the Knicks. They get to the conference finals in 1 game over the minimum you could play. I think Milwaukee beats Brooklyn. Brooklyn ended the year knowing, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, had they beaten Philly in their final meeting, they would be on Philly's side of the bracket. Instead, they're on this side. I do not think their defense is going to hold up. I do not know if their health is going to hold up. I think Milwaukee is a far better team with Jrue Holiday, maybe the best defensive guard in all of basketball. I think he will be able to slow down Harden a bit. I think Giannis will provide rim protection and guard Durant. I think Kyrie's going to go off somewhat, but I still trust the Milwaukee Bucks to beat the Nets. And then in a great Eastern Conference Finals, I will go with my preseason pick to stay true. Philly in 7 over Milwaukee. Joel Embiid's crowning achievement, the crowning achievement of the process, which gives us Lakers-Sixers, which is what I said at the beginning of the year. And I think just like last year's finals, it's a 6-game finals that ends with LeBron James holding both trophies, once again saying, do I have my respect now? So there it is. Chris Broussard. You went against me last year. You laughed at me last year. You're like, oh, my God, Nuggets over Clippers. Nick, you're picking with your heart, not your head. Let wise Chris Broussard teach you a thing or two. So my question is, Broussard, can you find a flaw? Have you learned your lesson? Do we have the same bracket?
A flaw? A flaw? Where in the world do I begin? I mean, let's go to the first round in the West. Now, look, I am stepping out on a limb, and I got to admit, I'm a bit concerned about tonight's game because I think Golden State can very well be emotionally and physically spent. but I am going to pick them over Memphis, and I am picking them over the Utah Jazz in an historic 8-1 upset.
That makes me happy.
So I got the guts to go ahead and do it. I think Steph shows out in that series. I'm with you on the other three. Clippers, I'm shocked you went with the Clippers. I think it'll be in 6 rather than 7, but I'll give you credit for that. I am stunned, Nick, that you got Denver in 5. I think that's a tough one.
I just don't think Portland
got a
can
great
defend.
shot.
I just don't think they can defend at all.
I'll give you that. But without Jamal Murray, who I know Denver's played well without him, but that's going to be a loss. I still got Denver in 7, though. I just think it's a lot tougher series than you do. Lakers, Clippers, I'm with you on that. Lakers in 7. I think that's a tough one. I think you are selling the Clippers short. I'm with you. I didn't like the little duck move they did at the end of the year, not wanting to face the Lakers. But I think that's a tough series in the Staples Center, 7 games. On the Eastern side, I'm with you on Philly. I think it's 5. I think Washington somehow gets a game. Knicks in 7. Bucks in 7. Brooklyn, I'm going 4. But yeah, you're right. It could be 5. And then I got Brooklyn beating Milwaukee. You put so much into those last few games. Milwaukee won. But remember, James Harden wasn't there. And Giannis did hit. For some reason, he was hitting threes against Brooklyn at the end of the regular season. He won't be doing that in the playoffs.
They were 8 feet away from him. It was dare shots.
Well, that's
right.
smart.
Jordan was in cement.
Right, exactly.
Do it again.
That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. So I got Brooklyn and Philly in the conference final. And Nick, I'm sorry. Daryl Morey and your guys, they're going down, all right? Julius Erving and Moses Malone are not walking through that door. It is Brooklyn in the East in 6 games over Philadelphia, which sets up a wonderful, this is an absolutely awesome final. Brooklyn against the Lakers, offense against defense. What is more important nowadays? Because there's a debate, as you know, going on in the NBA. What is the king now, offense or defense? Brooklyn wins the finals. I hate to say 6 games because 6 games can make it not a great series. But I think Brooklyn beats them in 6. Brooklyn over the Lakers in 6.
Wow. You've got Brooklyn not only winning, Brooklyn winning a championship on LeBron's court. How about that? Because in 6 would mean it happens in LA because Brooklyn obviously have home court. Brandon, you obviously talk about whatever you want, but just make sure at some point I want to know, because I think you are, I'm not sure though. Preseason, well, once the Harden trade happened, your finals pick was Clippers-Nets. And I just want to know at the end of this, if it's still Clippers-Nets, obviously I think you're going to still have Nets winning. It's still that. So you're sticking with it, Clippers-Nets. Okay, that's what I would go ahead and now do whatever you want.
Listen. I'm not on y'all level when it comes to breaking down the teams and winning in 5, winning in 6. I just know who plays good defense, who plays good offense, how they're coached. That's all I know. So absolutely have the Nets. You got James Harden. That's who you have. You got Kyrie Irving. You got KD, right? So there's no way that I'm picking against those boys. Really quickly, Wiles, here's 3 things that I want to talk about. 3 teams I want to talk about quickly on this bracket. First, it's the Nets. I don't see the Nets. Well, the Nets can't lose in round 2 to Giannis, who hasn't developed that shot. That's first. Second, the Clippers. The Clippers, they answered the bell. Ty Lue has totally changed this team. Kawhi Leonard answered the bell. He answered the call. Oh, he doesn't play back-to-backs. He's not a leader. Well, they're still in good position. Everybody last year picked the Clippers to come out the West. And then the last team is the Lakers. You guys limped to the finish line. What are we going to get out of AD? What are we going to get out of LeBron James and the ankle in the one eye? We don't know, so that's why I don't see the Lakers making it this far. Hell, they may not even get out of the first round against the Suns. Actually, I have the Suns over the Lakers.
Oh my gosh, Suns over the Lakers.
Slip that one in there.
That's a bold pick. It's a bold pick, Wilds. Wilds, hey, listen, I'm curious your thoughts. Brandon, I give him credit for going out on the limb and actually picking the Suns over the Lakers. Not saying they could win, saying they will win. It's bold. He's going to be wrong, but it's for the next 96 hours, it's fun. Like, it's
I hear you, Chris, talking about no chance. I hear you.
Like a midnight burrito. It's fun when you do it and you regret it later. But go ahead, Wilds.
Midnight burrito.
Is that good for morning TV? Is that a good visual? Okay. My quick pick. I think the Warriors lose tonight. Broussard went halfway there. I think Warriors lose. They're physically, mentally spent. They know they don't have what it takes to win a championship, so they're going to take their foot off the gas. They ratcheted it up because it felt like the finals. It felt like old times. But now they're like, who are we playing? John Morant? Didn't we just beat them? Why are we doing this? And they lose. And then I think it's Grizzlies, and I think the Jazz have an easier route. But, Nick, this is all about the winners. I want to talk about the losers. There's 8 teams here who have the dreaded first round exit. They are the Warriors, the Blazers, the Suns, the Mavs, the Wizards, the Hawks, the Heat, and the Celtics, according to your list. I have a theory that it's better to miss the playoffs entirely, go into the lottery, and feel kind of optimistic than have a first round exit. Out of those teams, which team do you think first round exit is going to hit them the hardest? And they're going to be like, you know what? Gosh darn it, first round exit. We need to do something here. I'm tired of this. This is nonsense, first round exit. Who do you think makes a big move?
Yeah, Portland. They'll fire Terry Stotts if it happens. So, fair or not. Listen, Portland is favored. It's barely, but they are favored to win the series. And Portland 2 years ago made the conference finals. Last year, they were in the play-in, and then they were the 8 seed, and they end up losing, of course, the Lakers in 5, famously Dame. You know what we should have done, by the way? We should have put a side-by-side of Dame waving goodbye to the Lakers after round 1 and